Are these spy shots of the 6th generation Toyota RAV4 the best-selling Toyota probably in the world? I mean, the Corolla's up there too, but definitely in the United States, the RAV4 is by far the best-selling vehicle for Toyota and also the best-selling non-pickup truck in America. We have not seen a drip of spy shot or design of the new Toyota RAV4, but we're starting to get, well, potentially some spy shots from different parts of the world. It seems like they're simultaneously testing the RAV4 in multiple markets this year in North America over at Coche SPIED, and then over on X. Well, we'll talk about some Subaru stuff today, so stay to the end for that. And then over on X, it looks like trickling in from Japan, we're getting some spy shots. So we got a few to talk about today, and this is just the beginning. Guys, if you are excited for the next RAV4, smash the like button and make sure to stay. We're going to break down the images first, but after that, we're going to talk about where is it at? Like it should have been revealed already. We'll talk about the delay, maybe some reasons why that delay has pushed back the reveal of this vehicle, and we'll also talk maybe about the powertrains, things of that nature. And then also on one of these X pages, they showed this image. So we'll talk about this. Honestly, this looks like it's a new image from Subaru to me. So we'll talk about that just briefly at the end. But guys, if you're excited, like I said, smash that like button. And let's get into this first image here. And we're going to compare it to the current 5th gen RAV4 because there should be some similarities. It's not going to be a complete redesign on a new platform. It's going to be a refinement of the current RAV4. Like the Camry, look, the current gen Camry came out as a 2025 model year, right? It looks very similar to the model year before. All right, the model that came on the TNGA-K platform in 2017 or so for the Camry. It's very much the same vehicle. It's just been improved in just about every conceivable way, even though it looks very similar. So let's pull up an image of the RAV4. This is a 2019, so this is pre-refresh. They changed the lights right a little bit. And let's talk about it. Okay, well, dimensions look to be very, very similar. I'm just going to start with the back. All right, now this is somewhere in Colorado, I believe. They like to do cold weather testing there. They like to do altitude testing there. They like to do trailer capacity testing there. So that's why you see this. Obviously, it's not an electric vehicle. It's at a gas pump. There's lots of grill going on. The grill placement's actually a little bit different here than we have on the current RAV4. So let's zoom in and let's talk about the back first. Okay, the back of the vehicle, it's not a perfect, again, we're going to have different camera lenses, different cameras, different angles. This is just a very similar angle between the two. But the back end seems to be less angled off. It seems to be more boxy, more upright. All right. That lends to more cargo capacity in theory as well. There's also pronounced hip back here, or you could say a body line, a strong haunch compared to the double line on the current model. We look at the overall wheel arches. Is this the same RAV4 we're talking about? Yeah, there are some similarities, but there are also some differences, okay? The similarities would be it's the same general shape here, but look how much more angled this is. The camouflage could be playing a role here, but these wheel arches are more rounded off, even though they, I've never liked these RAV4 wheel arches that go from non-painted plastic to body color paint to non-body color plastic. It's just kind of ugly to me. It looks like this is going to be a different design here, but time will tell, assuming this is the RAV4. All right, let's go a little bit higher. The C-pillar area, sorry, the C-pillar / D-pillar area here. All right, this is C-pillar, this is D-pillar. I talked about it's more upright. Let's move forward to the window. The window is similar. See how we have two angles here, 1, 2, and it looks like it's more just a single angle here, just a one sharp angle instead of a double bend. But the C-pillar window area looks very similar. And look, the window itself looks awfully similar. So this portion right here between these two vehicles could be absolutely identical. And this is I would say this window panel here is identical to what we have here. And even the side mirror could be identical, even though the side mirror looks a little bit more edged off. Again, camera angle could be playing a role. Now, this is a slightly different design. Notice how the window here is just a complete, this is a triangle, this tiny window here. It's a triangle that is flat and continuous with the bottom of this window line. Where on the current RAV4, it kind of angles up. So it almost looks like you kind of have this boat-looking canopy here from the side on the current RAV4. Where here, it's more of a, I don't know, lack of a better term, is a UFO sort of thing. It's more of a hard edge at the bottom. There's a little bit of a tail up here, but not like we have this weird piece in the back. All right, so more of a flat bottom window design with a more simple sharp edge angle up here for the side windows. All right, let's look at the door handles. Well, the door handle placement looks to be identical. So are we going to have the exact same body line signs that we have on let's say the Camry from generation to generation? It's possible, but it's hard to say. It looks like it's different because look at the line here, this hard line here where it's catching the light. It's above the handle, where down here it's below the handle. So I'd say there's a possibility we're going to have quite a bit different side door panels here, even though the window here and here is looking to be identical. All right. Wheel design. Some people are saying these look like Mazda wheel designs. I agree with that. They could be using Mazda wheels here just to throw people off. So I wouldn't put anything into this wheel design. The bottom here is designed completely differently with this kind of softish looking round up and a round down. It's like a little plateau here. This is much more angled, much stronger body line. So it's looking like a sharper vehicle overall than the current RAV4. Less busy, more sharp, looks like it's more upright, more cargo capacity in theory. Now, where we get to the front is we start to see a ton of differences. Now, we have lots of different front-end designs for the RAV4, for example. I mean, you have this sort of design, which has a different front grille to it, and it just a less rugged bottom to it as well. I mean, this is the RAV4 hybrid. I will say that the hood remains to be identical. It looks like they're going to carry over the hood. The line here is the same raised hood. It looks to be the same, but it continues on. So it looks like what I'm seeing here, we're going to get the hammerhead design on the RAV4, which we see it on the Prius, we see it on the Crown, we see it on the new Camry. We haven't seen it on too many. I mean, I'm going to pull up the Crown Signia. There's some similarities here with this design as well. Now, the RAV4's hood is more upright, it's more blocky than this more sleek hammerhead style, but it looks like it's going to have this kind of wraparound daytime running lights. But this sort of design, while we have some similarities, while there's a grille at the bottom, this kind of porous grille right in the middle here, that seems to be carrying over. It looks like we are going to have a completely different headlight design. So let's pull up the looks of the new Camry here. It looks like the headlight, like the Camry, and now these are the lower end. This is an SE. So the XSE and the XLE have upgraded headlights compared to this model, but it still has a general design, the kind of the wraparound daytime running lights. The hammerhead portion right here, it looks like it's still there. You're going to have a slight break, and then it'll get back into the bumper and then into the grills. Now, the Camry just kind of has one major grille and one small grille right here. It'll be interesting to see how much this one is different. There's also another vehicle that this kind of reminds me of, and this is the BZ Flex Space. And there's some similarities here, guys. This BZ Flex Space is an EV for China. And so look at the window line. Very similar, I guess, silhouette of the vehicle, right? More vertical. Now, this is a more premium vehicle, seemingly, but one of the things that stuck out was kind of like this headlight design and kind of how we see some similarities here. However, look how much more sharp-edged the front end of this vehicle is here, and where we kind of have a more gradual slope off the RAV4. I like the design of this BZ Flex Space concept that is coming to China. It's just not in production yet. So there are some similarities, and look how flat this window line is here too. I feel like there's some definitely design carryover here from this BZ Flex Space. Now the BZ Flex Space is, I believe, an optional 3-row vehicle for China. And we actually have, if I remember correctly, we actually have an interior image of it, but it's concept for China. So the Chinese market has different needs and different industry standards and different trends that we have here. So this is what the interior of the BZ Flex Space looks like. I don't expect the RAV4 to look anything like that. I expect there to still be tons of physical climate control knobs, things of that nature. Now, this is like transparent screens. Toyota's playing around with that. They showed it with the BZ compact SUV here in America when they revealed the new Prius a couple years ago at the LA Auto Show. So they're playing with transparent screens. They're playing with foldable OLED screens, different styles of steering wheel. We saw that with the Lexus RZ, even though it's not in production. Kind of that steering yoke. But for the American market, Americans want rotary dials. We want physical climate control. I expect that sort of interface to stick around for the RAV4. So, but we're not done with the images. I could talk about this one a little bit more. This one's the most telling. And below is the GR Sport. We don't have the GR Sport RAV4, but for some reason I have this image. Well, the rear taillights look to be completely different. And we're assuming this is the same vehicle. It looks very much like the same vehicle, same wheel arch design, same wheel design potentially as well. And then the roofline looks to be very similar. But again, this is confirming kind of what we saw from the front, is that this is a more upright rear end of the vehicle. You see it's much more angled forward here on the current RAV4. Rear taillight design is going to be very different. And it could have a light bar. I mean, this almost looks a little bit like the Lexus UX. Let me pull up the Lexus UX for y'all. See how we kind of have these fins sticking up here? That's the sort of vibe I'm getting, but the Lexus UX has a light bar. I think the light bar is too premium and maybe too expensive of a feature to include here on the RAV4, but we have some vertically designed tips right here that go very horizontal, very much like this. But if the turn indicators are going to be located down here, it's possible. All right, it's just hard to say. We just don't have that much information. We do have a dual exhaust design here, and notice how it's tucked up. There's no, on the current RAV4 hybrid, there are visible exhaust tips, visible dual exhaust. Again, look down here. This is the hybrid, right? The GR Sport. It looks to be the exact same sort of exhaust, but since they're hidden, these exhausts will be hidden from the average, I guess, perspective. So the rear design of the bumper will be a bit different. We also have one more picture here. Again, same sort of window design. This looks like is taken in Japan. It looks like the exact same images that we had right here. Nothing much more to say here. Oh, I guess we have the turn indicator on here. So it is nestled right beneath this brake light. And we also have a better look at the daytime running lights. Now, in Japan, they have to have amber turn signals. In America, they can be, I don't know the American rules, but they don't have to be amber. They can be white turn signals, I believe. They can be amber, they can be red, regardless of where it's at on the vehicle. So we have kind of, it looks to be that C-clamp hammerhead design style for the daytime running light here. But time will tell exactly what it's going to look like. But it looks very much like the Camry. And it looks like that's exactly what's illuminated around this sort of headlight design that we see in Colorado. I'm going to talk now about the delay of the RAV4. I believe it was supposed to be revealed at the LA Auto Show, at least at some point, right? That's probably what their goal was. But from my understanding, according to my sources, Toyota wanted to put this, their new software in the new RAV4. There's going to be a showcase of what Toyota is doing on the software end. And so that's called ARENE. This ARENE software-defined vehicle software that is also backwards compatible with like current platform vehicles with Toyota that are not necessarily battery electric. So they were working on it. They had versions of ARENE working in the RAV4, but ARENE as software does, it evolves very, very quickly. And they decided to pull a ring from the RAV4. I think that could be a reason why this has been delayed. I'm pretty certain that this was slated to be at least revealed at the LA Auto Show that just passed, right, in November of 2024. Now, when will the reveal be? Well, I heard it's going to be late spring, early summer for the reveal, and then availability later in 2025. Gosh, my years, I mean, we're entering a new year. So late spring, early summer would be my guess for reveal on the RAV4. Next gen RAV4, I should say, and then availability late 2025, early 2026. Now, another reason it could be delayed potentially is the availability of batteries and hybrid powertrains. Keep in mind, from all that I'm hearing, just like the Camry, the RAV4 will be going fully electrified. So it'll be RAV4 hybrid, from what I'm hearing, okay? That'll be the base model. Then you'll have RAV4 plug-in hybrid. They killed off the prime nomenclature. So you have a RAV4 plug-in hybrid as well, probably based on the 5th gen hybrid. So that's exciting. We're going to see different output and range numbers on the new RAV4 hybrid and plug-in hybrid. And then more than likely they'll have a RAV4 BEV. And if they have a RAV4 BEV, expect it potentially to look similar in some ways to this BZ Flex Space concept. All right. Not exactly alike, but similar enough. All right. So that's what's coming for the RAV4. It has been delayed. I'm pretty certain of it till late 2025. And when you have all the RAV4s going electrified, we need more batteries. I mean, currently about half the RAV4s are already hybrid. But you're going to need to double that. And conveniently, Toyota's North Carolina battery plant, their first battery plant in North America, is coming online in 2025. And it is going to produce batteries for hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and BEVs. There's 14 production lines here. 10 are going to be for battery electrics and plug-in hybrid vehicles. And the other 4 are going to be for hybrids. That's like what the 1/690 rule for Toyota. For every 1 battery electric with the same amount of batteries, you can make 6 plug-in hybrids or 90 standard hybrids. So yes, this plant's coming online just in time to reinforce more than likely the fully electrified RAV4, from the hybrid to the plug-in hybrid to potentially a battery electric. If there is a battery electric RAV4, I mean, you could put a nail in the coffin of the BZ4X, but let's keep moving. It's going to be pretty fantastic, and it'll still continue to be the best-selling vehicle in America that's not a pickup truck. Oh, and I wanted to mention this Subaru thing. Let me pull up the Subaru article real quick. I found this on the same X link as the spy shots taken from the RAV4 in Japan. And so I thought this is worth talking about. So we've known Subaru is going to have a bunch of EVs coming by the end of 2026. Now, will they all come to North America? Probably not, but let's look at what they do have coming. All right, this looks like a wagon, by the way, and I don't know if these are the actual designs. Anyways, let's get into this. The Solterra here, that is continuing. It says single here, but Google translated that improperly. So Solterra is sticking around seemingly. Then you're going to have this 3-row EV produced, no surprise, at the Kentucky plant where the new Highlander EV is supposed to be made. Then you're going to have this other one made at the Yajima factory in Gunma, in the Gunma prefecture in Japan. So this looks to be a long wagon-like BEV. All right, kind of like the Outback, but spy shots of the new Outback look more like this. Okay, more of a boxy looking thing. And then this is small. This could be just for the Japanese market or the European market. So who knows? They don't even mention anything about that. So, and the exciting thing is SUVs produced at the Yajima plant are also supplied to Toyota Motors. So Toyota will have their own EVs coming out of Subaru's plant. So Subaru at this point is just a rebadged Toyota, especially with their EVs, their boxer engines and their CVTs. That is inherently Subaru through and through. But their EVs and Toyota EVs are going to be just rebadgings of each other. We'll be getting a Toyota branded Subaru from Japan. That's an EV, which many of you guys may or may not care about. We'll be getting a Subaru and Toyota badge 3-row crossover, as well as a Lexus version made out of the Kentucky plant. So it's just fascinating. Felt like bringing that up. But most of you guys are more excited for this vehicle, the RAV4, the 6th gen RAV4 coming. Hopefully we get a reveal before the end of spring on this. And of course, I mean, I'll be there to break it to you guys wherever Toyota decides to reveal this and whenever. I'll be there in the flesh to break it to you guys, so make sure you're subscribed. I'm excited for the new RAV4. After looking at the overall silhouette, potentially how they're going to incorporate the hammerhead design here on a SUV / crossover is pretty exciting. But I got to shut it down. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the comments as always. Peace out.